Welcome back to the THOR Open. I was a bit surprised then. I thought I was coming on camera way later. We're back for the Counter-Strike Go Grand Finals. We're joined by two of the members from two of the teams in the finals, and it is, of course, going to be Get Right from NIP and Natu from Curse Gaming. How's it going, guys? You're in the Grand Finals, so you're a little bit happy.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Not bad. All is good.
Yeah.
We've actually been sat here for almost a good 10 minutes, just kind of waiting for everything to get started, which is maybe me doing my hair. But so, a Grand Finals for NIP in Counter-Strike Go. This is a familiar story.
What do you want to say about it?
I don't know. It wasn't really a question, but.
Well, I'm just happy to be in the final because I think we had more problems against Swedish teams, like, for example, Lemon Dogs, which we have played before in the zone. So we're just happy to be in the final, and in Sweden, of course, which is our home country. So we're just happy to be in the final, and we just focus on winning. And
Natu, long-time Counter-Strike 1.6 player as well. Recently joining Curse Gaming. When did that happen?
I think it happened Monday or Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah,
so
that recently. It's a day
recently.
rather than a week ago. And you're in the Grand Finals. Now, you two teams have played before on the group stage, but that was, I believe, the first game of the group stage, which went pretty heavily in favor of NIP. Sorry to bring that up, Natu.
It's all right.
It's just facts.
I can live with that.
But going into the Grand Finals, how's the team? And how's, obviously, Curse Gaming joining that recently? How's that worked out, if you can judge after Monday, Tuesday joining?
Well, Curse has been amazing to us. When we joined, they instantly booked our flights over here, our hotels and everything. And we've all felt like home already. And so far, so good. So I have no complaints about them. When it comes to this tournament, like a lot of people probably know, we had a rough start. We only won one game in the group stage, which was the last game. We lost to these guys. The first, pretty big. Second game, we had like 5 crashes and people getting frustrated, and like we kind of just fell apart in that game due to those issues. Third game, we knew we had a chance of going through, and then did what we had to do. And today came back with a well-slept night, and yeah, beat the Danes of NX like 2-0 in a pretty convincing manner. So I'm happy. I'm looking forward to playing these guys.
Yeah, of course, because you both had your semi-finals today, which both of you won. How was your team playing in the semis, Natu? How was Curse doing?
I think we played really good. We played at the level that we should play if we want to be competing with the big dogs, if you want to call them that.
Don't call Get Right that.
Thanks.
He's a young gun. You're old school. Don't give him that credit.
But in general, I mean, you need to have a lot of guts to play CSGO in general. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I think Finnish guys have always been kind of known for that, even back in the day in 1.6, and especially online when they were playing from the comfort of their own room. People were just running around, guns blazing, and that kind of works in CSGO pretty well, mixed up with good strategies and then sometimes playing slowly. I think we have a, we play pretty good.
And your semi-finals, Get Right?
We played against Lemon Dogs, which we were talking about before. We were kind of afraid of them because they're like a new team, so to say, and we played them the first tournament ever in CSGO, which we won against them, but that was a really tough game. We played them first time. And looking at their result on DreamHack Winter, for example, they played a really good group stage, and they played really good in the first quarterfinal against the Absolute Legend team. And I know they had like sick potential to be really, really good. So we just came into the game. We started off badly, but we managed to turn everything around, and we won the first game, which the score wasn't saying really what the match was. I think it was like 16-8, 16-9 to us, but I think it was much tougher than it really was. And just second map, we just played our own game and we won pretty easy there. And I think they're pretty like disappointed how they played on Dust 2, for example. But I'm just happy that we won. It doesn't matter what the score is, just that we won and we managed to get ourselves to the final.
Yeah, and that is obviously why you're both here. First place will be taking home from the THOR Open Counter-Strike Go Finals $15,000. So a good finish to a good tournament for the first place finish. Second place, $3,000, but of course, you know, it's still a decent season finished, there was some good talent here, especially in CS:GO. There was a lot of good teams turn out. So before I let you go into the finals, I can talk to you a little bit more because we've got great content coming later with Dota 2, but surely some gaps depending on how this best of three finishes. How's Counter-Strike Go going for both of you? I'm sure that's maybe a question you get interviewed a lot about because that's what people want to talk about. But get right kind of experiences with Counter-Strike Go as in the professional scene and where you think it's going and what maybe you've heard from developers.
I think it's just going better and better each month it goes. We're helping them out. Like they're giving us questions like what can they improve the game, what should be fixed, is this a good idea at all, and so on. And we give them all the feedbacks they need, and like hopefully we can change something in the game which could be getting just better inside of the game. For a professional gamer like that was, I just loving to play tournaments. I'm just happy there is so many tournaments right now for us. I hope that it's going to be more tournaments next year, and I think it's going to be more tournament next year. From what I've heard from friends from other tournaments and so on, that they are like really looking into it and understanding that it's something not big, but like something interesting in the scene, and it's still developing. Like how many players are coming in and out. I don't really get people are actually looking at the numbers on the game because it's pretty low.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting as well because obviously esports in the past year or so, and I know we've got to get you into the finals and talk about that, but apparently I'm not being rushed at the moment. But in terms of the numbers and in viewership around kind of Counter-Strike Go, I mean, does that appease you as a pro gamer to see the amount of people watching, or do you think it's only going to get more? Do you think it's in its infancy? I mean, where do you see it going in terms of kind of the whole storyline? Because obviously we know, especially natu, that esports really kind of blossomed around Counter-Strike 1.6. It was the big game. It was where the salaries were. I mean, do you feel like that can return, or with an FPS game and with Counter-Strike Go?
I think it could return. But everything takes time, what I see. And I understand would go from first beginning when I played like really early beta. It wasn't even that many players as well there. And from that numbers was like 4 or 5K was playing like actively. So I think like right now it's just going up from there. And I think that if you just give it time, the right time that's needed, and just give the guys behind the game, just give the right time that they need to fix on the game and so on, I think the game is going to be bigger. Just let them do what they need to do, and just let the community grow, so to say, instead of like point out, yeah, they have so bad numbers, the game is what it is, it's bad or good or whatever.
You see it going in the right direction?
I think it's going in the right direction.
And Natu, you mentioned Counter-Strike Go, run and gun a little bit with some tactics involved, but I mean, how has it really been for you moving over to Counter-Strike Go? What have you experienced, what have you liked, and what maybe you want to see also in the future?
Well, the first time I played, it was probably December last year, so a year ago, and I thought the game was horrible at that time, but it has gone a long way since then. And at that time, I was just playing publics on Dust 1 and running around and thinking, what the heck is this all about? But transitioning over, I think it's been a matter of just unlearning a lot of things from 1.6. Just don't think about it. It's this, don't try to make it into the same game in your head, So open mind is a really, really important factor. And if you have talent for FPS games, then you're going to learn any game, pretty much, I would say. Because I played Quake back in the day. Quake 1, Quake 2, Quake 3, then went to CS and so on. So it's just a matter of putting yourself out there, doing your thing, and like not having a biased opinion about something.
And going into the finals, because we're on the mainstream, and there might be a few people that aren't, in terms they could, some of the guys from StarCraft 2 are probably still watching. Some guys also waiting for Dota 2 are still watching. If we could talk about Curse Gaming and NIP. NIP, obviously, you've had a great start to Counter-Strike Go, winning a lot of great tournaments, and you've got, a star line team in many ways. What kind of qualities do you think NIP bring into the game in terms of things that you do that maybe others don't do as well as you? I mean, how would you describe NIP? So for the people who are going to watch the match.
We have a mixed team, so to say. We have 2 players from the CSORs and 3 players from 1.6, and I think that's our strength, because we have mixed up so many things, and like Natu said, you have to unlearn things from 1.6, and they had to unlearn things from Source, for example, and we're learning so much from each other. Like some things that you thought like this is a bad idea, but when they say it to you, it actually sounds better than you thought like for yourself, and then maybe they have something better. And I think that's why there's something special about us, because we just
a lot of experience from a lot of different backgrounds.
Exactly, and then we just put in the hours that's needed for it. And I think if you just put in the hours, and then you're thinking outside of the box, so to say, and you will just be successful there.
All right, well, that's maybe some of NIP success. Natu, anything that your team or people should be watching out for? Any star players or types of, you know, not strategies, but anything that you want to bring forth as you play as a team? Are you like heavy on strategy, heavy on aim, aggressive? I mean, how do you kind of describe Curse as a pro gaming team these days in Counter-Strike Go?
Well, the thing is that we can be really, really good, or we can be really, really bad.
Okay.
And we're still trying to find that, you know, the middle, like the golden bath in the middle. And, you know, thing is that we can play really good in situations. Mid-rounds, that's where these games are decided against good teams, always. So if we play well, look out for how we play in mid-rounds. If we play calm and do our thing, then we have a good chance of doing some damage here.
Yeah, good enough to win the tournament when you hit your stride?
You can always be confident. I mean, if you go into a final saying you're going to lose, you're going to lose. But I mean, we have nothing to lose here. We have everything to win, so we're just going to go out there, have fun, and do our own thing, and see how far it takes us this time.
Okay, right. Well, thank you guys for coming down and sitting down, and a little bit of an extensive interview, and it's always nice to get your thoughts about Counter-Strike Go, and I wish you both the best of luck in the finals. So we are going to throw it over then to our commentators for the CSGO Grand Finals as we let natu and Get